Greetings, everyone. This year's Black History Month theme, the family, in quotation, the Black family. There is an old West African saying, it takes a village to raise a child. The expected outcomes of this discussion with the students is to have them explore their nuclear families as well as the village that have aided in their upbringing. That village being their communities, their relatives, their friends, the Mercer family. Our hope is that this student centered discussion about the culture and how it impacts and the legacy of the family as a whole.
So, as we explore our families, our stories, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee was asked by the Black History Month Committee to reach out to students and to begin a conversation about how the family has shaped us to be the people that we are today. And so what you're about to see are 6 very courageous, brave students who were gracious enough to share a portion of their family story with us. The approach that we took, thanks to our very own Pam Price, was that the students were presented with 12 portraits made by very popular artists, and they had to choose a portrait that most related to their family or some aspect of their family story. And what you're about to see are the students sharing their family story of a portrait that they chose. We have 4 images that were chosen by these students. Hope you enjoy their presentation.
I personally can relate to the family portrait. When you look at the picture, you can see the dad and mom supporting each other. Like the dad and mom has held the babies together, and that's basically what I see my family, what my family represents. Coming here as immigrants, we support each other. We have supported each other through hard times, times when nobody were there, like times when there were despair and nobody could support each other. Like we held ourselves together, and we've made it through all this year.
The picture that I chose was the good times, that because I feel as though that illustrates how I was raised in my family the most, because for the majority of my childhood, I feel that we just always had a good time. That is just the way that we expressed our love for one another, because we weren't a big family of saying, oh, I love you and stuff like that. Like, you know how you call someone, you end the call, you be like, okay, bye, I love you. Like, we never really said anything like that. And it wasn't because we didn't love each other, it's just that we just had our own special way, like kind of like our own love language.
There was a family. They seemed like they were moving, from one place to another. And the way that projects my family and where I come from is my parents were born and raised in America. In the mid-60s, during the civil rights movement, a community, which I grew up in, called the Hebrew Israelites, migrated to Israel. Okay, so I was blessed to be born in that community in Israel, and it has significant meaning behind it.
My family connects to the picture of Freedom You Want because the picture shows that it's Thanksgiving and they have a tradition where all the kids, family, and other relatives are being together, enjoying having turkey. Though my family connects to this because, as per I'm Hindu, so we have different kinds of tradition like Diwali and Raksha Bandhan. So during Diwali, it's a festival of lights and touch the feet of elder people as a mark of respect during those days, because it's a tradition and it counts as respect.
I choose that because, when you come home, you have a long day. To come to the table saying, oh my God, thank you for just being here. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Just feelings, how you feeling, what you do today, how you woke up, you feeling good. So the reason why I picked that, because that's what I get every time. I come home, hey grandma, hey mom, hey dad, how everything doing? We talking, but we all together. It touched my heart, that picture I picked.
So the picture reminds me of when I was young, I used to go to church literally every single day. My dad was a pastor. My mom was very religious. I used to live in Pennsylvania, and I moved from New York to Pennsylvania. And ever since then, my family always went to church in New York, which was literally always a 2-hour drive. So it was like a spiritual journey of me going from Pennsylvania all the way to New York.
My family has shaped me from this portrait. If I take the good times, I feel as though it has just allowed me to be a more loving and appreciative person and just take things for granted. I never take things for granted whenever I'm with my loved ones.
This story has shaped me to be the individual I am today by seeing what my parents saw, which was the discrimination, the hate, the racism that they were experiencing daily here in America, and just how there was no peace. There was no peace. And my parents wanted a brighter and better future for their kids and for themselves.
It has really shaped me well, especially the way I think. I listen to advice from people, especially those who are ahead of me. When I see somebody's ahead of me, I don't get jealous or anything. I just go by, listen to them, what they are doing, and try to learn from them.
This story has shaped my life. It doesn't matter whoever it is, you should touch others' feet as a mark of respect.
And I do a lot of stuff in my community. I am an African American man that loves to help other people. If I didn't have none of that, I wouldn't be be in college. I wouldn't be doing basketball. I wouldn't be doing a lot of stuff in the city and a lot of stuff in Mercer. So support is a lot.
It shaped me in a lot of great ways. I am now spiritually involved into the gospel and made me want to be more involved with my family and have more connections with them.
I recently lost my brother a couple months ago. I always feel as though the first thought you have is, did I say everything I wanted to say to that person? Did I regret anything? Did I leave anything behind? So I feel as though the way my parents raised me and everything together, I definitely didn't. I feel like I didn't leave anything behind. And this prompt and this whole situation has put everything into light and perspective and showed me that I can definitely get through everything, and my family will always be there for me, and they're always going to stick with me because their values will always continue to live through me.
Israel is such a home and such a warm place. I feel that that's what I've been trying to project here in America, especially with my friends, and just try to be more warming, because it's not usual that you come across that here in America, especially being here. I've only been here 2 years, but I've experienced it enough to realize that. So that has shaped me to be a better individual overall and just try to make the next person better.
Everything about this Black History Month, I can relate that to my family regarding the values we uphold. Respect each other, because you don't know what they are going through. And before you judge, you don't have to judge somebody.
And I just thank everybody for, supporting, different families and everything like that. And that's it. Happy Black History Month.
So now that you've seen these students' stories, we'd like to engage you in conversation. We believe that as we see each other's stories and as we identify with each other, that we become more connected to each other, that we begin to be more welcoming and accepting and inclusive of each other as we tell each other's stories, as we learn from each other and the perspectives that we bring to our collective work environment. And so you're going to be asked in just a moment to look at the same 12 portraits that these students got to look at and choose one that most represents an aspect of your family story. And we're going to ask you in small groups to share what that looks like. We've got some facilitators from the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee that are going to be listening and facilitating the conversation around your stories. And when you're done, we're going to come back together in a large group, and you'll have an opportunity to hear your story shared by one of the other small group participants that were with you. We appreciate this opportunity to continue to build community at Mercer County Community College.